everybody. Tonight we have a special guest. Let me see if I point in the right way. There we go. That is the Key Day Kid. That's the guy you should be getting your shovels from.
Yeah.
Excalibur Shovels. So we're going to find out a little bit about what makes the Key Day Kid tick. How great is his shovels? Actually, one of the people that tout your shovels all the time is in the chat. And that is Ohio Metal Maven, Nicole.
Oh, yeah?
Nicole?
Yeah.
Oh, here this is. I can't believe I didn't mute this. There we go.
I didn't really hear it.
I've had it happen, where you have the echo.
Oh, yeah.
Then you feel like the dumb guy.
You firefighter?
And her husband nailed it. Detecting's here too, so we're going to say hi real quick. Firefighter Detecting is the first one in, and I'm getting better at saying your name fast, Andrew. Then, like I said, Ohio Metal Maven nailed it. Detecting. We have Buckle Boy Metal Detecting, and if you haven't seen his videos, you need to watch his videos. That is Slash being a turd. By the way, all that noise. Gene Diggs History. Who else do we have in here? Timothy Boyce.
Iffy. What's up, Mikey?
What's up? Who?
Iffy Signals, Mikey.
Oh, Iffy? What's up, Iffy?
Iffy.
What's up, Mike?
JDG, I will show you her Christmas tree. She sent me some pictures. Those are fun. I love her pictures. Great Lakes, yep. NorCal. I think I got everybody so far. Tri-Valley, I do have your mail. I was going to do a mail call, but because we have a guest and we're doing giveaways, I will do the mail call next Wednesday night. I did receive it. I think I got everybody. If I did not say hello to you, oh well, get over it. No, just hit the @ Jersey Ray Diggs. You know what to do. And I will say hi to you and say your name out loud too. So for giveaways tonight, before we get into talking to the Key Day Kid, first giveaway is going to be 2 coins. You're going to get a Bicentennial JFK.
Shiny.
Yeah. It's because it's not silver. It's Bicentennial, though. And a Standing Liberty quarter.
You had to show an SLQ, didn't you? An SLQ.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
What's really cool is tomorrow, I have a video going up tomorrow, and I find a Key Date SLQ.
Oh, nice.
So keep an eye out.
Definitely better than
I'm done.
My Key Date Queen Vicky. Patty, Dirt Cloud Metal Detecting, Marta Vistral, thank you for joining in tonight. Talking about the giveaway. So that's giveaway number 1 tonight. I got 2 special giveaways tonight as well. First one is part of Team PG5, and that is B3 Relic Recovery, and he wrote a book to dig up the past. That is number 1. To get in on this giveaway, #book, all capital. For the coins, just comment. That's all you got to do is just comment. For the book, #book. Very simple. After we give away the coins, we'll do another hashtag for, let me go back to the one I'm giving away. Madison Maine's book. I did not order that book because I don't have children.
Hey, Buckle Boy. Delver.
So after we do the coins in a little while, we'll do another hashtag. Don't do the hashtag yet. We're going to do a different one, though.
So it's don't do the hashtag yet hashtag. That's what they're supposed to enter? Okay, just wanted to make certain.
Because I'm going to be giving away this book from Richie. So the 2 books I will be ordering them off of Amazon. They are paperback edition. So if you're interested in having Richie's Christmas book here, Madison Maine, for one of your little ones, I will put the order in tonight, whoever wins it. And there you go. So that's what we're doing tonight.
Right on.
For giveaways.
And those books, you can't, these metal detecting storybooks, you can't make this stuff up. They're fascinating, the stories that people have to tell about metal detecting.
Yeah, I've already started Chris's book, B3 Relic Recovery's book. It's pretty good. Who else came in? Chris Stapley. Who else? I just saw Delver, Bruce, Lucky Duck Digger, PD Sandigger. Thank you for joining in tonight. So, on the one from Madison, Maine, because his books are children's books. So, if you have a little one in your life or you have a little one in your house, then we'll do that. You can enter it or you don't have to. So we're going to do that one as a hashtag too. But this is a nice read, good amount of pages, nice print. And there's an acknowledgement in there to 5 channels. And I'm one. So that's the other reason why. So outside of that, let's get into getting to know the Key Day Kid a little better. I know most of you probably already know him, and some of you may not. Slash, you need to go. Get your toy. Sorry. Let me get him up there. Get up there. Get up there. Go ahead. It's up there. I threw his bone on the bed.
Oh, that's better.
I was going to say, what are you doing? Moving your house around?
Yeah, I was moving my house.
You just got some killer houses. I wish I lived in one of those.
Me too. I'm just squatting here right now.
Well, it's better than I show Key Day Kid, the one that everybody sees a lot more frequently. It's better than this one.
Clark's Cove jail.
Oh my gosh! I guess.
Yeah, I got it. Clark's jail.
The crazy thing is there's a jail, an old ghost town jail out here, that the person that built the jail, it's small, it's like a 12 by 10. The person that built it spent the first night in it.
Oh, really? Oh, that's crazy. Where exactly, what state do you live in? Not where
I'm in
exactly
Utah.
do you live. Huh?
I'm in Salt Lake.
Salt Lake?
Yep.
Wow. I don't think I've even driven through Utah yet. I'm gonna have to do that.
It's
That's
interesting.
I bet it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty big city out there too. All right. So you were born and raised in Utah?
Yep.
Hey,
I'm
Claude.
born and raised Utah.
Have you lived anywhere else, or just like as an adult moving away from home? And
I lived like in Ogden for a couple of years when I went to Weber State, but pretty much spent my whole life here in Salt Lake City. But I love, like for metal detecting, I love to travel to the surrounding states, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, Nevada. There's a lot of fun stuff out in Nevada. But I'm in love with local history, and I'm sure a lot of you guys that are into the hobby have a thing for local history, because that stuff has a value in your area, or is more valuable than outside of your area. So I love the local history here and studying it, and stuff that names of places and things and roads that you see every day. And when you learn the truth about them, like where it came from, it's fascinating. Like any windy road here in Utah, if it's windy, it's a wagon trail. It's an old wagon trail. And I like to, then I use those as points to get permissions and hunt. But it's fascinating, the history out here.
so how long have you been detecting?
So I started I did internet sales for a pawn shop. I was, the Pawn Stars was rocking at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. So I was like, I'm going to work at a pawn shop. And I did the internet sales there, and a couple metal detectors came through, and they're like, there's a bunch. Don't, get caught up wanting one or da. So I ended up getting a bounty hunter, Landstar. And that was 2000, I think it was 2014, 13, around there. I think it was 2014. That's when I started. And I am, so my first year I found 3 gold rings.
Ooh,
so
nice.
I got bit by the bug of wanting to know what's in the ground, even though, pretty much 99% of the things you dig up is garbage.
Oh, yeah.
I got 3 gold rings, and one's old, like an oldie, and then the other 2 are modern. But that got me hooked. The thing is that people they miss out. You miss out when you don't start with the machine, the lower end machines, because it forces you to dig more targets. And the other thing is it doesn't pick up on smaller stuff. They tend not to pick up on smaller stuff, but it forces you to go after more targets. And that's how I got those gold rings. You know, when you're digging pull tabs all day, it gets tough to dig those signals after a while because you're just going to pull tab.
I mean, I think in a way VDI is probably not the best to have because it does make people kind of like, I know exactly what a pull tab is on the AT.
Yeah, and this length of the sound.
Yeah, I'll still dig it, but I know exactly when I see the VDI and that tone and the way the tone sounds, I know exactly. But I'll still dig it. So like I think sometimes VDI's a hindrance more than
it is
some people.
Yep. Like a 22 shell, the length of the sound is shorter than a nickel, and they hit pretty close to the same. But it's
like shotgun shells on AT Pro kind of have a bounce to them. The tone bounces. Yeah.
I know it's 50 is a nickel. I had an AT Pro. Yeah. I probably have over 10,000 hours on my AT Pro. That was my second detector, and man, was I going to town.
Yeah. That's still my favorite detector. I don't know how many hours I have on that thing, but a lot.
They should have they should record that on those. You know, they should have a little timer on those that you can look at, see how long you've been using it.
Yeah, exactly. I think boats do, because when I see them for sale, they're like, 38 hours on the boat.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, motors. Yeah, the engines do, yeah.
Hey, Jason BC. Some other people came in.
Jason?
Wayne, Patty. I know somebody else came in. Ken, Practical Ken. Thanks for joining in tonight. Make sure you guys are doing #book, all capital. And that's for B3's book. We'll be giving away a Madison Maine book as well. We'll do that later. And just comment is going to get you in on the 2 pieces of 2 coins. Bicentennial JFK and a 1926 SLQ. Who doesn't want one of those?
I love them.
I like to find them.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
What did Patty say? I'm still waiting on my legend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the backlight on her legend stopped working. So she sent it to Andy, I believe. So where were we at?
So more about me.
Yes,
I've been the president of the National Utah Token Society 4 times. That's a Utah's metal detecting club. It's just, just helps with the obsession, and it helps with testing my shovels out too. That's kind of how I started, was just making them for people in the club. And then,
I was going to get on that, get there, because I know you've been guests on other streams where you talked about it, and some of these people here may not have seen you. Mm-hmm. So you got, like, what made you what was the original thought behind making a shovel? Was it like the ones you were using just were not good enough, or?
I started out modifying those like Home Depot shovels to see, to make it easier to dig a plug.
Oh, like
what was that?
Like Aqua Chigger?
Like he does. Yeah. And but I have a background I used to work for NASCAR. So like for almost 5 years, every race that some of the biggest names in NASCAR, I made their exhaust systems that are on their cars. I didn't put them on the car. I made them out here, and then they ship them to North Carolina. But
cool.
So I had a background in fabricating and welding and that kind of, and then, just learning about the materials that they use that are super strong, and that kind of led me to making a shovel. I was like, I have the experience as a fabricator. Let's try making some shovels and just anything to be involved with metal detecting. So, something, just any offshoots from metal detecting, like I like to get into. So I like to make the shovels, and then I like arrowhead hunting. I like rock hounding. I like it, just everything that's related. It just goes hand in hand, and it just continues the obsession.
Hey, Danny boy, Jamie, backbreaking. All right, so I'm gonna ask a question because my Friday night premiere, this is going to be in conjunction with that actually. So everybody always asks you, what do you use when you metal detect? What machine? When did you start? What got you into it? Or sometimes they'll ask the other question, which is, what got you addicted to it, so to speak? You know, like you said, finding those 3 gold rings, that's it. So my question will be, why do you metal detect? What does it
Because
do for you, and what do you get out of it?
it's the box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. There's endless things to find. I love research and history.
Mhm.
I love when I find something, I go through the old newspaper archives and research it. And a lot of times you find stuff in there. You can find, just through Google searches. Another way to find stuff is through eBay searches, going on eBay and eBay completed listings. You can find stuff that you found, rare stuff. But I love researching stuff and figuring out the history to it and the dates. Because people, they question you when you show them your collection. They go, "Well, what year is that from?" And when you know right off the top of your head, it's helpful.
Yeah. So you're feeling the need to know, basically.
Uh-huh. And
Um,
it's just so, yeah, it's an endless curiosity. You just don't
right.
ever know. Like you could find something that you could retire on. You could
Uh-oh.
find something
Weird.
that it's possible. Like out here, we have a Mormon gold coins. If you
Yeah.
find a Mormon gold coin, the most common lowest ones are about $8,000 to $10,000. But if you get a $10 or a $20, you're looking $150 to $350,000, and some of them gone for $1 million. But
Wow.
like change your life if you find something like that out here.
Oh, no doubt. I think I'm moving to Utah.
But what's funny is they paid for stuff back on the East Coast. So they would ship all these Mormon gold coins. A ton of them went to the East Coast. But it's kind of presumed that they melted them down when they got them there, and into other coins or other things. So that's kind of unfortunate for them. But there's probably some laying around out there in the dirt.
Probably. Maybe. Hopefully. I'll start looking.
Yep. And they're
Hey,
cool. Like the one's got a lion on it and is like, or no, it's an eagle, and his body is a beehive. So it's like it's an eagle with a beehive body. It's really cool looking.
nice.
They have some really, and they have the Mormon handshake, the secret handshake on one, and yeah, that it's fun. Mormon stuff is valuable out here. You find
If
that.
if the handshake's on the secret handshake's on the coin, it's not so secret then.
Yeah, it's not so secret. I guess it's it's like, what's going on? What are you guys doing? You guys gave it away in 1856.
All right, I don't know what, last week he didn't even come over here. Go up there. So what, like, where do you normally detect that? Stop.
You know what I love in the winter right now?
Yeah.
I love tear outs. And there's so much building going on here in Salt Lake right now. They're ripping out old house. They're probably ripping out an old house, an 1800s, 1900 house every day downtown.
Wow.
There's a ton of, and I like the tear outs because it's dirt. You can dig everything. You can dig the weird signals. It's, I love the tear outs. They're just one of my favorites, but I like to go to ghost towns. That's because of the challenge of a ghost town. It's not easy. I don't think any ghost towns that you go to have not been heavily detected. And I'll go out there with like Stapley, or some other guys, and it's this incredible challenge to see, to find something because they've been pounded. So you're just going under every sagebrush bush and moving pieces of scrap all around, and just trying to find a way to find cool stuff, and it happens. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
I kind of do what you guys do. Like, if I find a spot, like, I guess about a year and a half ago, I found a foundation I'd been looking for. obviously it was a teen hangout party spot at one point.
Oh yeah,
A
it's
lot
got
of
the
beer
bubble
cans. And
cans. Yeah.
I told my buddy, I said, you know, there's stuff here because most detectors would have seen all those cans or dug up a few of them and been like, yeah, this place is trash, and left.
Yep. Yep. The clear out. If you clear out a spot, like that spot would be a good clear out spot. You just dig everything out, go
Yeah.
back over it, dig the next layer out, go back over it, and then you're finding the old stuff.
Yeah, from what I understand from a hunter that told me where it was at, that I think about 100 and some change years ago, it was a tavern.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
So,
cool. So there
and
could
now
be a lot of coinage down on the ground underneath
oh
that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
we
people.
detected around it and just didn't dig the screamers, you know, because we knew they would be cans. But there
Yep.
were a few signals. Like I found an early weedy and
Oh,
a lipstick tube.
did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love wheat pennies. I know a lot of people get sick of them, but I love digging up wheat pennies.
Hey, if
They're
the
so
wheats are there, there's a good chance of silver.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, yeah, as soon as you find a wheat, you know, you're like, hey, okay, now there could be silver here.
Yes, exactly. So I never mind a wheat penny. Besides, some of them are, you know, you might stumble across a 1943.
Yeah. I did find a 1909 SVDB in like XF condition. So the rarest wheat scent that was meant to be. Or, you know, I think like a 40, they have a 44 steel that is rare too.
Yeah.
And then,
Gone back to the copper planchets, and
Yep.
a few of the steel planchets made it through.
Yep. And then the other one, like a 1913 V nickel. I mean, you're looking at a couple million if you find one of those. I love researching the key dates, and the thing is that once it gets into like the silver dollars and half dollars, I don't know them very well because you know I'm not finding a bunch of those, but pennies and nickels and dimes, a little bit of the quarters. I love researching them and finding out the mintage and the values on them. Even though I pretty much never sell anything I find.
Yeah, I don't sell anything I find.
It's just too cool. I just love the memory of the eureka moment that I feel and I remember when I hold it or see it. It's awesomeness.
Patty said she just got a 99 penny with a close AM.
I mean, with a close AM. So like in America?
Yeah.
That's cool. And then you got the W's nowadays.
Oh, the quarters, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one yet, but I don't really look at my pocket change. And that's how we end up with them because people don't really look.
Yep. And they're out there. They're probably being circulated. But error coins are fun. They're interesting. I think a lot of people that think they have an error coin, it's not necessarily going to jive with the coin grading or coin businesses. But if it's like documented like in the red book, then and you find one that's an error that's in that book, you're probably looking at something pretty good, like a 42 Merc dime. I think there's a 42D, 42/1.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's like $240 G condition.
I know there's a teens Merc dime, but I don't remember what year
1916D.
Yeah. I remember looking for that because occasionally as a cashier, I would get silver dimes.
Yeah.
And every time I saw the Merc, I was like, is it one?
I love those coins, and I love the Mercury dime, what it represents. And those wings on the Mercury dime's head represent freedom of thought. And I think people need to start using what's in between their ears a little bit better right now in this world. But freedom of thought. Think for yourself.
Social media could be a really great tool.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it's created a lot of tools. But I know a lot of people they don't like Facebook, the drama, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, I use Facebook for what it was meant for.
Yeah.
Connections, keeping in touch, stuff like that. I promote myself. I promote other things. I'll express whatever thoughts I have that day. But Yeah, it can get messy. You can just ignore the messy people. That's all.
Yep. Yeah. I just, when I try to ignore most of it. It's tough, like people, they have their shovel they like, so they just like to be biased for it. But the thing is we need to be open to everybody and give everybody a fair shot.
I was
And
going to say earlier, like speaking of shovels, like I know your shovels. I'm aware of yours, obviously, and I'm aware of Gravedigger. And I think you guys are both awesome dudes, and you both got great products.
yeah, I like what he does.
Yeah, and I don't
and his
see
originality.
right. And there's some people out there that firefighter has a good question.
But yeah, I really don't research other shovels and
No,
yeah.
I'm sure you don't. You have your style. He has his style.
Yeah,
But
I don't like research them and whatnot.
how much are these shovels?
They range. I got a bunch of different ones now. I got more coming out that I'm sure will be knocked off. But they range from 50 to 50 to 150. But the metal I use, nobody else. Well, there's a couple, but pretty much no one is using this metal, and it is a lot stronger. It's more expensive. It's better materials, and that's what I do. Is I reinvest the money I make back into the business to buy better tools, equipment, and pay for these patent attorneys, and just to get better stuff. That's my thing. Is I'm just an ongoing, um, um, endless chase to make the best stuff, and I got China. They send me emails constantly trying to get me to make shovels through Chinese companies in China, and I'm not going to do that because I just think it's just not me.
No, that's good. Keep it here in America.
And yeah, and it's so much more difficult. Like it'd be easy to just go, okay, I want to order this much China, transfer money, and then wait for it to come, and nothing going on between here. Or like I have to go through a ton of things, all the stuff I do: powder coat, metal fabrication, ordering steel, building my website. I did my website myself, doing your taxes, and it's just, there's so much to it. It's like, it turns a 40-hour-a-week job into a 50 or 60-hour-a-week job just when you do it yourself like this. But it's worth it when you love what you do. It's all worth it. And this guy, like when someone orders a shovel, my phone goes jingling. I'm stoked. Like I'm excited to come through for somebody and do something for them. And my shop, there's no nets around my shop, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, like, I have held one of your shovels and one of the other company shovels and Rebel irons, by the way, and those are really heavy. Rebel irons are super heavy. Gravedigger is heavier than yours.
Yeah, and that's the advantage I have is using the steel I use.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much stronger. It allows me to make them lighter. So, and they're not too light. You can make a shovel too light. Those titanium. If you make a solid titanium shovel, you need some weight. You need some mass to a shovel. It actually kind of hurts you when it gets too light.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I will be getting one of yours as soon. I'm still using my groundhog, my white.
Yep. That White's one.
The only issue I really have with that shovel, everything I like everything about it. Even though it's a little longer, I think it's like 4 foot or something. The blade itself is small.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't mind that in a yard because I will bring it to
Right.
a yard and I explain to people my shovel's going to scare you, but it's specifically designed to not kill your lawn.
Yeah.
But I don't tell them it's really designed to cut through roots. I mean, big roots, But So when I'm making a circle plug, it's literally like that big around. So if I have something deep, I'm actually making this really deep, long, narrow hole that I can barely fit my arm in.
Yeah.
I do need something a little longer, because that blade on the White's groundhogs is probably maybe 6 inches, maybe 5 inches.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know,
mine on my standard is 4.5 or 4.25, 4.5 ish wide and 8 inches long. I got the wide spade right here. That wide spade is 7 inches wide, 9 inches long. And I have a wide long spade, which is 7 inches wide and 11 inches long. And those field hunters, the farmer field hunters, they like those shovels because, they're finding deep targets and they want to get down to them faster.
Yeah, I do woods hunting, and trust me, a lot of my targets are deep, and I'm like digging this.
Yeah.
So I have to get one of your shovels just for when I'm woods hunting, because I do get frustrated a lot. But in the woods, it doesn't matter how messy my hole is.
Right. Yeah.
But,
like a ghost town. There's no grass out there.
Yeah.
It's just desert. So you can make a mess out there, but you always got to, fill in your stuff, because there's, the ranchers and stuff will chase you down if you're, leaving a bunch of open holes or digging a privy out, not filling it in. They'll come for you.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And then they won't let people out there. It's happened to places.
Oh, I'm sure there's places around here, and like parts of parks will get, because my county allows you in the public in the county parks. There's only like 2 or 3, maybe 4 that we can't go to, but they added a new section of one a couple of years back. About 4 years ago, they put a section of the park where I had found old home sites deep in the woods, but that section of the park is off limits now.
Oh,
yeah, nice, right?
I like to do what you should do is do that historic aerials and look at that park and see what it looked like in 1942 or whatever, as far as back as you can get.
I think these homes might even predate the 1931 aerial. Ours go back to 31.
Oh, do they? Nice. Yeah, out here it's like 1940-ish.
Lucky Duck says hers is pretty sparkly and has a great grip. I'm going to be getting mine in purple, so maybe purple.
Yeah, she's got the what was I going to call that? I was going to call it like T1000. Is that guy in Terminator? In Terminator 2? But that color Lucky Duck has is like that molten liquid metal looking. It's a special order color. And then she's got the black super grip handle, which is it's nice. A lot of people like that grip.
Nice. Gene Dig Sissery recommends the wide shovel, super strong. Tri-Valley, Brandon, Excalibur is the best I have tested.
Right on.
Delver uses a groundhog like me. That I know.
The other thing is my shovels, I have a 5-year warranty. So, and it's not this little thing where you go to buy it and it's all warranty, pay $12 more. No, I'm not like that. The warranty is in the price when you buy one. It's 5 years. I'm going to take care of you. If anything was ever to happen, we're going to immediately all hands on deck and get you taken care of.
Andrew, firefighter detecting, said, I find myself by trees a lot, but don't want to damage the trees. Will this shovel help?
Yeah, it's a great shovel. The Serrations are, they're great for roots, and you can chop into those roots around those trees, big trees, pretty much all trees. You can cut the roots around them. You can't cut all of them, but you can metal detect around them and cut through those roots. I've seen guys sit there and, if it's 1 inch to 2 inches in diameter, the root, my shovels, you can blast through them pretty good. Once it gets bigger than that, it might take a minute to saw through it. But that's the gives and takes with the shovel.
Well, easy way to tell about trees. Most trees have deeper roots, but the shallower ones will be the younger roots. But whatever you see on the top of the ground is how the tree looks inside of the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It would be basically just take that tree and turn it upside down, and that's the root system.
Yep. And the roots are awesome. If you get a signal under a root, dig it out. I've never been stopped by a root. You can mine your way from a different direction, right underneath it. But there's good stuff. If it's under a root, it's been there a minute. And the other thing is roots will lift things up. There's stuff that has been sunk down, and then as a root grows and the tree grows, it lifts it. And I found a wheat penny sitting right on top of a root at the base of a sycamore tree, 1929.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'll show you these serrations here.
All right, while you're getting that, I'm just gonna share this real quick again. So everybody chatting that came in later, you're already entered for a bicentennial JFK and a 26 SLQ. And then hashtag, bring it up again. Hashtag book will be giving away a book written by B3 Relic Recovery. And we'll be doing that here in a bit. And we're also going to be giving away a children's book by Madison Maine. We'll do a different hashtag for that. If you have a little one in your life or a little one in your house, you can get in on it. If you don't want a children's book, you don't have to enter it. That's why we're going to do the hashtag on that one. All right, go ahead. Show your shovel.
Okay. So yeah, we got this is the serrations here.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You can see on this leading edge, these here give a nice insertion if you got a root or something, it will catch on it. If it's not there, then it's a little bit more difficult. And then these serrations here, it's actually there's multiple serrations. Actually, my patent, I've already talked to the examiner. It's going to go through. We just had to rewrite a couple of things, and we've already done that, talked it through with him, and he's okayed it. So it's going to be going through, but I got a patent on this serration style. And same with my connection. And yeah, there's people, they're copying it, but that's
going to
do. Yeah.
Imitation is a sheer form of flattery. So
yeah,
that's your cooking shovel right there, right?
This one?
Is that your
Merlin?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Merlin here. And you just push these buttons in here.
Nice.
And you can put it in your case.
Yeah.
Or your backpack.
Or your backpack, yeah.
People are like, why, Casey, do you not make a adjustable length? And it's because unless the shovel is fully extended, you are carrying unnecessary weight. And my goal is all metal design as light as possible. This is right here is my hand digger. This is about a year of use on my hand digger here. Let's see if we can get that. You can see the powder coat's just barely coming off the front there. And then on the back, you can see the edge here. It's coming off and it's lightly coming off. But, it's just the reality of things. And the handle, metal. You're not going to have that hand grip. I've seen people send me pictures of these hand diggers they have with the hand grip. Came off one of the first times they're using it. It's just, you don't want that stuff to happen. So, you go with the all metal design. That's my goal, and as light as possible. I want to make my stuff as light as possible because I like to go for, sometimes I go to like 12 hours a day. Yeah, like when the sun's up in the long days of summer, I'm going all day long, and same with my buddies that I go with, like Stapley. We're going all day, and there's a little bit of competition. I don't try to get too competitive, but a little bit of competition, especially if the other guys are finding good stuff and you're not, it's like, all right, I gotta dig deep here and try hard and see what I can find.
Well, Wayne asks, are custom logos possible?
Like what kind of custom logo? Like a sticker or
yeah, I imagine he's probably talking about his sticker, his logo for his channel.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to send it to me or if you want to buy one and then stick it on there, you can do that.
Team Lynch loves their Excalibur shovels.
Right on.
Patty Disharoon, those are awesome shovels. I need a blue one.
Oh, here, Patty. Got you a blue Merlin right here, ready to go. And then, boom, just pop it in, turn, pull. This one here, this will fit in your backpack. This will even fit a small backpack. This one
Yeah.
here, I think the length is 16 inches on this in each segment, so you can fit them in your backpack easily. And then we got the blue. We got lots of colors. I'm open to colors too. If you have a color you like, feel free to ask. And if
When I order mine, I want it purple gradiating into pink.
I can do that. Yep, I got a great purple that's got it's like a shark skin grip to it.
Nice.
And then the pink I got is like electric pink. I just switched to an electric pink, and that wheel, you can't miss it for a mile away. If you get stranded somewhere, you wave that in the air, and somebody will find you.
That's what I'll need.
Yep.
We gotta say hi to a few more people that came in. Dirty Paws, cuz I know I saw other people, and I just was trying to keep them in my brain. B Higgles, make sure you do hashtag capital B, capital O, capital K. Jesse Hardy, everybody, make sure you're making all caps on that when you're entering Looterate for the book. We're gonna do that first. We're gonna go ahead and do the coin now. Actually, get that out of the way. Do you mind, Casey?
Not at all.
All right, so with these coins, the same as usual. You actually don't have to be here, but you might want to check the replay if you've already left to see if you won. And if you don't, send me your address by next week, next Wednesday, next time I stream. They'll go to somebody else. Makes it that easy. So let me just put my email address down there. So we're going to go ahead and share that screen and do this giveaway for y'all for Christmas, because, you know, sometimes you got to be nice. All right. And I guess Mark's internet went completely out because he totally disappeared.
Yeah, I did earlier. I couldn't believe it. I was like, is this my internet? No, just my luck.
No, sometimes his internet goes out. I don't know what happened. So here we go. Let's see who wins the 26 SLQ and the Bicentennial JFK. Andrew. Andrew doesn't have to send me his address. Yeah, I already have his address.
Congratulations.
Awesome. So I'm gonna reset this. So for Madison Maine's book giveaway, I need you guys to put, I'm gonna share these real quick. So for those who came in later, I'm giving away 2 books tonight. I'm giving away Madison Maine's book, Undersea Christmas with Cecil the Grumpy Green Crab. I'll be ordering that from, that's cute, right? So if you have a little one, it's a children's book. Hashtag Madman, and we'll draw for that in a little bit. And the other giveaway tonight will be for B3 Relic Recovery's book, To Dig Up the Past. I will be ordering that from Amazon as well, so you get it before Christmas, hopefully. I don't know. You know, they're let me see, that was Madman. Remove that. Amazon Prime isn't 2 days anymore, it seems like. So to get the B3 Relic Recovery book, enter it just like you see it, because I only have 22 entries and there's a few more of that watching right now. So make sure you do all capitals, hashtag book. We will be doing that very shortly. And those are my Christmas gifts to y'all. So Andrew, congratulations on your Bicentennial JFK and your 1926 Standing Liberty Quarter.
That's my favorite coin, is the SLQ.
I know it's gonna be weird, but my favorite coin, my top favorite coin is actually the Indian head penny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
it's
just
a cool coin.
It's one of my favorites.
Lady Liberty wearing a Native American headdress. It's a pretty cool coin. I love them.
My second favorite is probably any of the Benjis.
The Benjamin Hass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only because when I was little, my grandfather gave me a 50-cent piece to go get candy, and it was generally silver.
Oh yeah.
Because it was always a Benjamin, you know. And
Yeah.
then my third one is probably the Morgan dollar. Dan
Yeah.
Graham, metal detecting, North Carolina.
Thing I love, the Morgan dollar has like tobacco leaves in the headdress and cotton blossoms and different things, you know, just kind of representing what America, what's made America. So it's a neat little hidden message in there.
Yeah, it's a pretty coin. I love it.
Mm-hmm. But the SLQ is so strange looking for a quarter compared to, because we've had Washington on it.
Yeah.
Forever now.
Washington, actually, all our current change has been the longest running. They only recently changed them, and very little. They just took the same president that's on that coin and just, like, on the nickel, blew up the face like 5,000 times. And, yeah, they're not at all attractive coins.
How about that quarter? I think, is it like New Hampshire, the one with the rock face?
And
and it ended up falling. So it's like, it's cool because it represents something that was there and it's gone now. That face fell off. So I love that kind of stuff, that, you know, getting to see a piece of history and wonder exactly what it looks like. Like I want to know what the Sphinx looked like originally. You know, that stuff's just fascinating.
Yeah, that would be neat to see what that looked like.
Yeah.
I mean, let's see. JBP said Indian head penny was one of the first three things she had in her bucket list, and the other two was a silver merc and a Civil War bullet. The only thing she's found so far on her bucket list is the IHP.
Oh, well, you'll find, if you keep going, you're going to find them. You're going to find your bucket listers. You know, probably the hard one is
the hard one for her will be the Civil War bullet. You might find a Civil War era bullet, though, because, you know, I mean, they did have the same bullets to hunt and stuff, you know, in different parts of the country. So.
Yep. I've actually found a Civil War, the mold, half of a mold. They kind of go like, they open and close. So you close it and then you pour the lead into there, and then you open it when it cools down. But I found half of one of those Civil War era bullet molds.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I have never found a bullet mold. That would be cool to find it.
Yeah, it's crazy. We all have very similar stuff in our collections, and then very different stuff. It's really interesting.
Yeah, Dirty Paws gave a Benji half to all his grandkids every Christmas.
That's funny. My daddy gives away the modern is it walkers, those silver dollars that are like a walker.
Yeah,
he gives those to my nieces and nephew for every Christmas each year, because they have, you know, they keep producing them, so they'll get a 2023 this year.
Nailed it. Detecting said they need 2 dates for the fatty IHPs to have all dates.
Wow.
Nice.
Yep, I found every key date wheat cent that was meant to be but a 1922. That's the only one I got to find, is the 1922.
Hey, Grandma Kelly. I don't remember all the dates of the IHPs I found.
Yeah.
Grandma Kelly, while you're coming in, I know you have little ones, so hashtag Madman. I'm giving away Madison Maine's newest book, The Undersea Christmas with Cecil and the Grumpy Green Crab. I will be ordering it through Amazon and having the paperback sent to the winner. And the other one is To Dig Up the Past by B3 Relic Recovery. And to enter that is hashtag book, all capital. We'll be doing that very shortly. And our guest tonight, for those who came in later and don't know, or because I only said it early on, is the Key Date Kid, Excalibur Shovels. You can see his shirt says Excalibur, his hat says Excalibur, and his digging sheet says Excalibur. That's nice.
Yep, I had to try to get people to make them for me, and yeah, nobody came through for me, so I started making them myself.
No, sometimes you gotta do that. Hey, Aqua Higgles. Brandon Speaks is Tri-Valley. So what's on your bucket list? Do you have anything?
when I go like on Instagram or the Facebook feed, there's like all sorts of stuff that I'm adding. But I want the gold coin. I have found a gold ring with a Dos Pesos gold coin in it, but I don't count it as a gold coin.
Right.
That's probably my top bucket lister. Mormon gold would be nice. And what other cool stuff's out there? I want to get I haven't got the 2-center, and I saw Ohio Metal Maven got a 2-center. So
Yeah, 2.
I'm jealous. So I want one of those. I've got the Trime. I found a Trime. I found half dimes. My oldest US. I haven't found a large cent. I'm out in Utah, but my oldest is a 1845 seated dime. I found 2 of those over the years. What other cool stuff? And then those relics, they're just all sorts of neat relics I'd love to find. That the East Coast stuff, it just goes back so much farther.
Especially the Northeast.
Is it the Northeast? Yeah.
Yeah. New England area, New Jersey too.
And I was looking up like the oldest city in the United States is in Florida. So
yeah,
I'd like to check there and find some Spanish treasure.
Yeah, Spain was down there.
Yep. But like a pine tree shilling, that would make my life. Yeah, a pine tree. I'd like to get something like that.
I would love to find a Jersey copper. That's my white whale.
A Jersey copper?
Yeah. New Jersey copper.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
when we first gained our independence for about 2 or 3 years, each of the new states minted their own currency. So you have the Connecticut coppers.
Yeah.
New York, New Jersey. So I have not found a New Jersey copper yet, and I live in New Jersey. You would think I would have found one. No, they see me coming and swinging my detector, and they run. I mean, I can find half reals and reals, but I can't find a Jersey copper.
but yeah, real. See, that's one on the bucket list that I'd like to find is a real. That'd be super cool.
Man, those things. I'll tell you what. They ring up like a penny, a modern copper penny, on the AT Pro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're like 81.
What is that? 80?
81.
Yeah.
They'll fool you. You'll be like, it's just another copper penny. You pull it out, and it's this really thin little piece of silver.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they just hunt off depth. If it's deep and it's hitting good, they dig it. But if it's shallow, they pass it over. And I have found so many good things shallow that I don't pass over the shallow stuff very often. I found dog tags, and dog tags are highly collectible out here. And tokens will seem like they're a little bit more shallow than they actually are. So that's one thing you want to watch out for is don't just go all off depth. You gotta, that dirt is it's like a sandbox. It's like cookie dough, and the chocolate chips in that cookie dough, they're not in just one spot, top or bottom.
They're all over. Hey, I found clad dimes 10 inches deep, and the reals I found have all been very shallow, less than an inch or two.
Yeah.
So you just don't know.
You just never know. And then you get like a zinger, like a zinc penny hit, and a big gold ring will hit like a zinc penny. And, actually my most valuable ring I found with my AT Pro, and it's probably like a 1.5 to 2 carat ruby, Sri Lankan ruby in it. It's probably 1890s to 1910. It's set in this awesome setting, 18 karat gold. It's beautiful. And, that was at a house. Someone was flipping a house, an old house, and just, someone was that lived there was gardening one day, I'm sure. And
probably, and they're probably a little upset they lost that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you travel outside of Utah much for metal detecting, or do you go to events and stuff like that?
Yeah. Yep. I like to go in the surrounding states. There's a lot of cool history in the surrounding states, and it's amazing you go to Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho, Nevada, and you're finding those Utah state tax tokens. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
I drove all this distance and I have now found a Utah state tax token. But yeah, I like there's so much cool history out here. The Donna Reed party came through here.
Yeah.
You know, and the funny thing is the highway. So in Salt Lake, we got this highway that blasts through the Bonneville Salt Flats. It's a straight line, but it's for everybody that wants to go gamble. It's called Wendover. And everybody, like, you just, if you want to go gamble in Nevada, that's the closest spot to go to. But that road, that highway is the route the Donna Reed party took. And
How far is Salt Lake from Carson City?
It's pretty far because I think Carson City is on the other side of Nevada, the California side.
Yeah, Lake Tahoe.
But I have found a Carson City, a super duper key date, Carson City, a 1872 CC dime. And, you know, so I got that off the bucket list.
Nice. My step monster lives out there. In Sparks. Yeah, my dad was living out there for a little while. When he died.
CC's guy. I mean,
we were talking about the Donner party, and they went not far from where they live too. Carson City is actually pretty neat. It's a pretty neat town. But, like, they still have the old West look to it.
Oh, really?
Was it Carson City?
Cool.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I have like a picture I put up on one of my videos of the actual mint, the building. And man, it's super cool.
Grandma Kelly found a Washington State tax token. Didn't know what it was and almost threw it away.
Was it a big one or because they have like a 5 mil and then they have the 1 mil. The big ones they're pretty cool.
Nice, Dan Graham. Yeah, my stepmom lives in
one have a plus sign in the middle, the Washington tax token. I found some of those.
Well, I know most people are hanging out for these books. So do you mind if we go ahead and do that little giveaway real quick?
Let's do it.
So I'm going to share the screen again. All right. So for the V3 Relic Recovery book, I'll give you about 20 seconds. If you have not put this in there exactly how you see it, you won't be in it. And that is for V3 Relic Recovery, Chris's book, To Dig Up the Past, The Tale of Bloodwater Bridge. I will be having Amazon, because you have to order it through Amazon, send you a paperback copy, and it's a nice book. And I'll give you guys another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's see who gets this book. And if you win, or well, you will, somebody's going to win. Make sure you email me your address. Danny boy. Look at that. Congratulations. I will be sending you through Amazon V3 Relic Recoveries book, To Dig Up the Past. It's a fun read. It's a nice book. I know you're here because you literally just said hi to me. So I know you're hanging out here.
But the era, if I could travel back to an era, I would travel back to the 1890s. I like the Old West outlaws and chasing that kind of a history. And I actually got in a book. It's called Last of the Bandit Riders Revisited Again. And this Dr. Lacey asked me to come metal detect a hideout in Robber's Roost. And Robber's Roost is Canyonlands now. And so we went in there and we had BLM with us.
Yeah.
And I found a pocket knife that this Dr. Lacey has said that it could have only belonged to Butch Cassidy or LZ Lay, which LZ Lay was his friend, another outlaw. But I got credit in that and pictured in that book for finding that. So that era, cool. I'd love to see it. I wish I could get some glasses when I go these ghost towns, put these special glasses on, and I can see what it looked like in a specific year, like 1890.
Yeah.
It would be so cool.
Like one of the questions, like if you have you been on Treasure of Vortex yet, or all?
I've noticed that they have a show. Yeah.
Oh, okay. One thing that I was asked is like, if you had one superpower, what would it be? And I was like, if they ever ask me, I would tell them I would want teleportation.
Yeah, teleport through time.
Time or places.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what this area looked like 150 years ago. Just boom, I'm there.
Yeah.
Or,
yeah.
Hey, Casey's out digging today. Boom, I'm out in Utah.
Yeah.
Like I would love teleportation. I mean, what would you do?
Man, what would I do? I have no idea. I just want them all, I want like Superman, but I think anti-aging, but then it's like, I don't want to like outlive everybody, be alone, make new friends.
Like a vampire or something.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I was like, I would love to be a vampire and live forever. And I was like, wait, no, but everybody would die and I'd still be alive.
Yeah, it'd get boring after a while.
And then you would go through that cycle again. You would make a whole new life and a whole new family, and they would die, and you just keep on outliving everybody.
Yep. One thing I've kind of wanted is like if I could just have vision for like gold. So I could just like switch into a mode where all I can see is gold.
Yeah, like
in the area.
Gold veins and gold nuggets.
Yeah. Like you just have this thing, you put it on, and it only lets gold come through. And you go to, a park, go to
gold ray vision.
Yep, gold ray vision. Yep. And then you just walk through the park and you just pluck out the gold. I mean, that'd be easy. Yeah, I wish metal detectors, the next step I think for them is to come out with a metal detector that is an elemental identification. So gold, silver, aluminum, brass, copper, let you know what the elemental breakdown is of what coils over. That would be epic.
I think with like gold jewelry, it might be a little tricky because of the alloys they use and the different carats.
Yeah, they have different kinds. But gold, and you get to like 10% or 10 carat, and it's 40% gold at 10 carat. So there's more of silver usually in it than gold in 10 carat. But then you can get copper.
Carat, the 10Ks tend to ring up a little higher.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they do.
Metal detecting North Carolina. 34 years ago today, I was deployed to Panama for Operation Just Cause. It was a rough Christmas that year. Thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you. And because of the, I like to maintain the value of my shovels. I'm making every single one myself, handcrafted. So I really don't offer discounts very often. But for veterans, I definitely have a discount for them. And a first responder type, I get you a discount too. Because I just appreciate that you guys are, putting your neck out there for us and looking out for other people. It's a really nice charitable thing to do.
Yeah, that is a very nice thing to do. There's so many businesses that don't do anything for veterans or current servicemen and women.
Yeah.
When my son was in the Army and he came home to visit, we went to New York City, and we went to the Empire State Building, and because he wanted to go there. And so the first top level you go to, you have to pay to go up. And then the first top level, then you would pay extra to go to the second one, and then even more to go to the very top. And when we were in the elevator to go to the top one, it was just me, him, and one of the people that worked there. He took us on this other elevator. And so we go up to the top, and we were talking. I said, oh, you know what? I should have paid the extra so I could take my son to the very top. And he was like, oh, you want to go to the top? And my son was like, yeah. And he says, all right. Close the doors, and up we went. And he got a little walkabout at the very top.
Right on. That's awesome. That's a bucket lister for me. Get to the top of the Empire State Building.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I've been up there before. I used to go to the top of the World Trade Center.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to the restaurant up there, windows on the water. Windows on the
Oh,
water.
cool.
Yeah.
Way cool.
It was pretty neat. I'm glad I had the opportunities to go up there. But yeah, he used to call me all mad. Like because he would go to something. He was like, "Oh, I went to this whatever business," and I asked them if they had a military discount, and they were like, "No, we don't."
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know why they don't.
But and then like a police and firefighters, I'll get you one.
Well,
Because,
all during the COVID lockdowns, we weren't truly locked down; just our luxuries were taken away. But all during lockdowns, all the places were like, all the food chains and whatnot, like, police, doctors. Well, if you're in scrubs, and by the way, the janitor at the hospital wears scrubs too, so you didn't have to show ID. Got free coffees or free meals at McDonald's or whatever, and I'm like, and here the postal workers are. We got nothing. You're like, oh yeah, you have a good day. I'm like, oh thanks.
I'll help out the postal workers.
The first thing I clicked on that day. Yeah, when you went to the top of the Trade Center, which was like 3,000 million feet in the air, they had the floor to ceiling windows. And but those windows weren't flush to the building. They actually went out about like 8 or 10 inches or so, and had a glass bottom. So they kind of like went out. And this little rail, and you could like put your head like this and look straight down that building.
Oh,
yeah, that's. I only looked once.
Oh, yeah, just knowing that you're that close to the edge, it's.
No, I didn't go postal on them.
You go postal on them.
Yeah, Bruce, you should be taking advantage of those senior discounts. I've been looking up which ones I'm eligible for. Let's go ahead and give away this kid's book real quick by Madison Maine. And any of you see him, you could tell him I gave away. Let me show you the book. I guess I should do that. Hang on. Let me take this off. Let me show you guys the book real quick. For those of you who entered, is this book by Madison Maine. Undersea Christmas with Cecil the Grumpy Green Crab. I will be ordering you the paperback version. Let me show you the books. There's what it looks like. So we're going to draw for that now. It is cute. Let me share that screen. Should be able to like share more than one screen. That would be nice. Oh, that's my chat. Never mind. Here we go. Let me stop that. So sorry. There. I don't know why I brought up the chat. All right. So are you guys all entered? Give you another 20 seconds. Another 15. Another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you'll have to email me your address so I can have Amazon send you the paperback. Let's see who gets it. NorCal Digger.
NorCal?
Yes.
Right on.
Just let me know you're here. I just need to see that you're here on this one.
I send a lot of shovels to Northern California. I think I just sent one to like Sonoma. Is that in Northern California?
Sonoma, yeah.
Yeah, I sent one there.
I'm just waiting to see NorCal say, "Hey, I'm here." I know they're taggable because people are tagging them. Let me know you're here, NorCal. Yeah, there we go.
There
Awesome. My grandkids will love it. All right. So, Tri-Valley said earlier he had sent me some goodies. Yes, next week I will do the mail call on that. And I will be doing some more giveaways because, believe it or not, December 25th is not the last day of Christmas. It's actually the first day. So I still be giving away. I still do a Christmas giveaway next Wednesday. I'll have a couple more goodies for you. Maybe the books. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll do the mail calls then. And I do appreciate the Tri Valley. So I will definitely be, like I said, doing that giveaway next week. If you guys have any questions other than the couple you've asked so far of Casey the Key Day Kid, master of the making Excalibur shovels, put it at Jersey Ray so I can see it, because otherwise I won't see it. To the winners, make sure you email me jerseyray@gmail. Don't email jerseyRayDiggs@gmail because I don't know who will get that.
And the busiest time of the year for me is right after Christmas. January, February is crazy busy. And I've just come to, I think that people get a detector for Christmas and then they're like, how am I going to dig now? And then that's when I get bombarded, it's really crazy after Christmas. So that's like my Christmas for
no
me.
doubt. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I know I glitch on mine sometimes. How much for the super wide shovel 30-inch handle?
I think it's like, I really don't know for sure, but I think because I have so many options, it's like my website, I have over 20,000 options when you combine everything, but I think it's like 110 to 120.
All right.
And beautiful thing about my shovels is you don't need to don't sharpen them. They wear sharp. And I was just talking to Sodbusters, and I was about to tell him, they wear sharp. And he's all, my shovel's actually sharper now than when I got it. And it's because they're engineered to wear sharp.
Nice. I just had to sharpen my groundhog.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, once you sharpen them, then you have to sharpen them constantly.
Oh, this thing was duller than a baby's behind.
Yeah, and then the heat treat, you got to keep them cool when you do that, because if you get them too hot, then they get softer and wear faster.
Have you considered adding a hook so a sling can be attached to shovels?
Somebody wants something like that, I'm always open to do it for them. Something, simple little things like that. Yeah, I don't have a problem doing that. The D handle, you can loop something through the D on the D handle, and then you could even put something around the hosel here.
Yeah.
And use it like a sling that way. The T handles, those T handle holsters that go on your belt for a T handle, my shovels fit in pretty much all of those. So if you wanted to get a shorter one and just wear it on your hip, you can get one of those little carriers that you just hook it on your hip. But I got other stuff, like I just released another one. It's called a sax digger, and it's like a tiny shovel, but it's like 15 inches long, and you can use your foot on it or you can use your hands. You can use it both ways. So it covers a lot of different digging aspects. So that's going to be a good one for you. And then I got another one it's a sod plugger. And it pops like these beautiful plugs in the sod in grass. So like it just will speed up those recovery times for you. And that's the thing is the more targets you dig, the more good stuff you'll get. It's just a matter of odds.
Good night, Andrew. Grandma Kelly said, so is there a difference for different people's height?
Yeah, there are. So if you're so I was fully abled until like the last year when a back injury from I did concrete years ago. It caught up to me. But when you're fully able and you want to go as light as possible, that 31 inch is a great length. I tell people from, being in the golf industry, what you do is you can measure your knuckles to the ground, measure that length and -1 inch and like 5'4" to like 6 feet. It tends to be pretty dang close to 31 inches. But the longer the shovel, the more leverage and the less bending you have to do. So like if you've got, sore back problems, things like that, longer is better. And I go up to like 50 or 51 inches, but 40 is probably my most, 31 and 40 are probably my most common lengths that I sell. And the in-between or 36 that's what I switched to from a 31. I'm 6 feet tall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I went to a 36 because of my back. I herniated that disc, so I need a little bit more. I need to bend a little bit less, so I went with a little bit longer. But the thing is they stay super light, and I go off my weights or based off of. I researched what a medieval sword weighs because I was learning about that, and they battle all day long. So, and they said that like tons of people died in these medieval battles from dehydration. It was like one of the biggest killers. But it said 2.5 to 4 pounds is the weight of a medieval sword. And it had, so they could swing that all day. So my 31 inch is about 2 pounds, 10 ounces. And then my 40 inch, I think all the 40 inchers are going to be, I know like a T handle with the wide long, it'll be like 3.5 pounds. They're still really lightweight, and most people can carry those all day long. But yeah, if you want longer is better if you don't like to bend over as much or have back issues. Shorter is good if you are fully capable and you want to go for extended periods of time. You like go 8, 10, 12 hours. Yeah. Shorter tends to be a little better, but and the other thing is the standard spade is good for grass. The wide spade it's still good in grass too, but it helps out in the deserts. And then the wide long is excellent for the farm field hunters and whatnot. I actually sent one to Michael Bennett.
Oh, he just found a gold coin.
Who? Michael? Wow. I think I saw that.
Yeah, I just saw the post like yesterday. Yeah.
Was it here?
No, here.
It was but it was a foreign coin, wasn't it?
I don't know. I didn't see Michael didn't share it originally. Somebody else shared it.
Oh.
And then I saw the picture of him with it. And then I know he said his was like his post said 15 years and I finally found one.
Oh. Yes. I think I'll cry. And I don't cry. I try not to.
I don't cry either. I might cry
if I find one. I think there might be some tears coming down this face.
I might cry if I find an 8 real. One of those two. Actually, not just any gold coin. If I find an escudo, that's like my dream coin.
Really? What's that? What era is that?
It's the same era as the reals. It's like a gold real.
Really?
Yeah. Pirate gold.
I want that treasure.
That's my true dream coin is an escudo. Was it in England, Patty? I don't know. He didn't specify where it was at. I just know he just found it. No, he's not in England right now, is he?
I don't know, but I know he was there last October.
Yeah, this is a recent post.
He just went there in October because I had another guy that goes with him that bought a shovel.
Yeah,
the 31 is a great cane. Yep. The 31, you can use it like a tripod on a hill. But the longer ones, you can do the same thing with it. And that's the one thing is using them like a cane, getting up when you're going all day, getting up. It helps you get up, helps you stay level and stay up on uneven terrain. There's a lot of benefits to them.
Yeah, I think when I order mine from you, that about the same height as the groundhog, because that's like perfect for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll have to measure that. I've seen people with them before, and I thought they were like 36 or 40, but they could be.
They might be. I don't know. They're to my hip, So whatever. Probably trying to see. Maybe like I don't know. Delver has one. Bruce has one. I don't remember
Yeah.
how. I know they're not short. I know that.
Yeah, that strap would be cool. There's just so many fun things that would be fun to get into. But sometimes it gets difficult because I'm a one man show. So I'm making leather stuff. I'm fabricating shovels, and it's no easy task. It's no easy task doing this. I'm in a respirator. You can see my face. I have a permanent respirator mark on my face because I wear my respirator for about 8 hours, 6 hours minimum, 5, 6, 7 days a week. So I've got this groove worn in from it. It's no easy task.
No, I'm sure. I mean, that's why. I won the whites one in a raffle. It was like pick which shovel. Then I went the groundhog, and that was years ago. And I do look, and I've checked out your shovels and the other people's. And like I said, I like yours because they're light. So when I get my next shovel, it's going to be yours. Plus, you said that you could do whatever color and certain colors, but
I can. Somebody wants something specific, definitely can do that. And that's one thing I'm actually reinvesting in right now is better heating elements for my oven. And just a lot of the profits I get, they just go right back into the business just because I want to be the best. I want to have the best stuff. And, I want everything to last as long as possible. I want the powder coat to last longer than it does. So it's just an endless pursuit for perfection.
And they're already perfect, so it's got to be really hard. A really long pursuit to perfection because I do pay attention to on Facebook, and a lot of people, every time I see your shovels mentioned, it's always positive.
I can't believe how much positivity there is out there.
Like I said, Ohio Metal Maven, she's always, I love my Excalibur. I love my, because it's getting time that I'm going to have to buy a new one. So I just have to answer Chad because I spent Labor Day weekend in Ohio with Nailed It Detecting Ohio Metal Maven and Flash in Your Pan, prospecting for gold. The other of the team PG5B3 wasn't able to make it, but I bring my dog with me, and he had some neck issues. It was my dog has apps. Hey, Flash in Your Pan. Speaking of, he just came in. He has no tolerance for pain. So he's every 5 minutes he was screaming that he was dying. So that's why he's asking how he was, and he's much better. When I got him home, I took him to the vet, and they gave him some steroids, and overnight he was fine. So he jumps off my bed, and I have hardwood floors, and he hyperextends. So, and he's not a tall little guy, so
So it's a long way down. It's like a double or triple height.
Yeah. My butt's pretty high actually. He just won't learn. He still jumps off of it. So
does he jump onto it?
Yes, he does.
Oh well, that's good.
He is a good dog. He's gone everywhere. He traveled. I drove to the Garrett Memorial Hunt back in April, and then I drove back to New Jersey, passing through Louisiana, Georgia, North Carolina, and up. And he went the whole way.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then his last trip was to Vermont because I have a 300-acre permission up there.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it's never been detected. And when I brought Dan Nelson from Dan's Lanyards, he actually lives in the town where my permission is. So he met up with me, and he's sleeping, Ed. He was up my butt at the beginning, though. And we detected there, and I assure you, it's never been detected. And
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really hard.
You'll run into spots that haven't been detected very often. Most of the time somebody's been there or night hawked it or something.
I don't even think that, I'm pretty sure it wasn't nighthawk. And it's really, if you didn't know this property was where it is, you wouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
You can't, it's not visible from the road. It's up in a mountain. There's no road going up to it,
Yeah. So it's nice and secure.
Yeah. It's like a grade 4 road, which means like they don't maintain it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Like, need like a truck or SUV to get through there.
Chad, I'm pretty sure with what you guys keep finding.
But yeah, those spots that, when you got a good spot, I've got some good permissions, and man, it's when you got a spot like that you can go to, that's epic. You just
nice.
Think about it before you go to sleep at night. I want to be there.
I can't wait to go back up. And Dan said he's detecting Christmas. I was like, oh, I don't want to drive up there. But I know that it's going to be really rough driving up to it right now. Because the original road that went alongside the house, it's more or less impassable. Because they don't maintain it, and nobody's lived on this property in over 20 years. It's been abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
And but she let loggers up there about 8 or 9 years ago. So they made a logging road that you can drive up that. And that's rough driving. So you need
I'd pound that original road. I mean, I found a whole lot of good stuff in the roads.
It goes all the way back.
I found a silver dollar in the road.
We did detect it a little bit, but hey, Andy, Lost Boys. We did detect the road a little bit. We spent one full day there, about 8 hours.
Yes.
I got there up on a Friday afternoon, so we went. This was back in October. We went a little bit Friday, Columbus Day weekend. I went up there, so we detected all day Saturday, and then Sunday morning. We detected up there a little bit, and then we went up closer to the Canadian border, like almost right on Canada, and detected his uncle's property. But on the property, I did find a fish scale. It's a little tiny thing.
Oh, yes. The Canadian one. Yeah, I found a couple of those.
And it turned out it's a rare key date, I guess, Queen Victoria.
Is it?
No, this one isn't. My Queen Vic large cent is.
Real? You got a Queen Victoria large cent?
Yeah, I got the key date, but I don't think it's here. I think I already put it in its case.
I got an 1879 20-cent silver.
Ooh, nice.
It's from the Straits Settlement. I found it detecting. It's from the Straits Settlement, which it's Malaysia now, but it was part of the English Empire.
Mm-hmm.
And they kicked them out in, I think, World War II. They kicked the English out, but it's a straight settlement, 20-cent silver. It's one of 50,000. If it wasn't in the ground, it'd be worth some, a good chunk, like $500. But since it's in the ground, it goes to like 175.
Yeah, those pneumatists being all picky about being in the ground.
But Queen Victoria, when you see that, you see her on a coin, it's like, yes, it's old. Yes.
Yeah, I don't remember the date now offhand. I know that I wasn't sure which of the two it was, but it turns out it was the rare date, the 1884, I think, something like that. 1888, one of those. I don't have it in my room here. I have it in the display case already. Mm-hmm. So I don't remember the date.
My oldest find that I know for a fact the date on it that I found out here is I found a giant, like a huge spoon, and it's silver. And I decoded the hallmarks on it, and it was made in London in 1809. So nice. It was likely a pioneer's drop.
No doubt. That big push west in the mid 1800s there.
Yep. So that's my oldest out here. So there can be some old stuff, but if you want that super oldie stuff in the United States, you got to get that East Coast.
Yeah. I mean, it could be out there, families moving out there and, taking a coin collection of grandpas out there, I mean,
they did. They had lucky coins that that were too old to be spent for some reason. They might have been able to, but they call them lucky coins that the pioneers and the hand carters would carry with them. And my friend Chris, he found one, and I think the date on it was like 1796. And just incredible to find something. And we took it to the coin dealer, and he's like, this was probably not spendable. It was probably someone's lucky penny.
Yeah, probably.
That's it's a biggie.
When I went to the river, Monocacy River in Pennsylvania, well, Maryland, with great finds and stories from the signal, and I found a Civil War bullet, and like maybe a foot away from that bullet was a 1790 something half real with a hole in it.
Square nail hole?
No, it was a
circular.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we assumed because it was right near the dropped bullet that because there were some others, like I found a bullet sinker. You know, they took a bullet and hammered it into a sinker, all in that area. So we feel, you know, maybe one of the Civil War soldiers may have been wearing it.
Yeah, that's cool. And yeah, those Civil War bullets that I found one of those out here, and it's from a spot that's probably from the 1850s and 60s, and they had hammered the top, put a little loop on the top, and so they could use it as a sinker.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy what they do.
It's so cool. I'd like to find that'd be a bucket lister, the dice that they made out
of
the bullets. I'd love to find one of those.
I found where they took the rivet from their bag, their ammo bag, I guess. They took the rivet and hammered it down into a poker chip.
Oh yeah.
So I found that. So
I love those weird little homemade finds. They're just so unique, and they got probably a crazy story to them. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you find you wish you knew the story on it, how it got there, and whatnot. There's just it could be something you think. I always think out here like they dropped it in the snow, because you drop your coins in the snow, you're not gonna be able to find them very easily.
No, probably not.
Or in the sand, you're out in the sand, you drop your change or your gold ring. It's gonna be tough to find that.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I know it's still around your dinner time, so I don't want to keep you too much later. But
no worries.
But let's see. Let's give you a good, nice last question. Do you have are you going to any events next year, or any events you would like to go to?
I've tried to go to some, and I'm not going to get into that, but there's the one in Missouri that's in April, like the April 5th.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about, because I think James Huntley put it on the Seed in the Natural Hunt reviews page.
So I will be there.
Okay.
And I'll have lots of shovels, and I have a booth there, and hand diggers and whatnot. So I'll be at that one. I mean, I really like to go to Digstock.
I would really like you to go to Digstock too.
But they have their own shovel guy that they like, so they don't let me come.
Who? Rebel Iron?
Rebel Anchor. Or Iron, sorry.
Yeah, I don't. The only time I've ever seen him was at the one event, and I've been the most.
Yep. So, if somebody's bringing me bent shovels back when I'm at this event, I'm going to be an ostrich and plant my head in the earth. That's just.
I feel you on that. You should come as an attendee.
I should. That's what I should have done last year. But because I like to hunt it out of areas.
Yeah. Well, the last one, what a lot of Northerners and modern people forget is that area, we were in the South, even though it's North Carolina. And, these were sharecropper homes. So there were coins found, but there weren't going to be a lot of coins like being closer to a city like I am. They used to sweep the streets from the horses. They didn't pick through that manure for coins. They just swept the streets, put it in barges, brought it over here, and the farmers here put it in their fields. So there's all kinds of stuff mixed into that horse crap,
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Dig Stock 2024 North Carolina sold out.
Yeah, but like if I go to someone's house and they got a bunch of dog crap out in my yard, it's like I'm treasure hunting. I don't care.
So when
there's
brought,
always a good signal under it.
100, 200, 300 years ago, they'd bring the crap over here. And like I said, the farmers would use it to fertilize their fields. So our farm fields will have a lot.
Yeah, great little transplant, like a way to find stuff here, like if there's a tear out and they load a dump truck up and take it somewhere and dump it, you can find good stuff. I found a Vaseline, an 1890s Vaseline bottle where they had torn out an area and dumped all the dirt in another area. And I went there and found that Vaseline bottle.
Well, near the train station. So I'm near Middletown, New Jersey, which is when my county was formed in the 1600s, it only had two towns, Middletown and Shrewsbury. Now, all the towns you find in my county all come off those two towns. And so Middletown, by our train station, the one road is Kings Highway, which predates colonization. It's a Lenape Trail. And it also became the British retreat route from the Battle of Monmouth. There's a street off of that called Red Hill Road. That's as old as Kings Highway. When the colonists came here, they didn't cut their own roads, like they made use of what was already there. For centuries, the Lenape would go from north in the mountains to the south and, down by the water in the summer. So a couple thousand years of people walking,
yep,
you had a trail over there. So that section there in Middletown is the oldest section of Middletown, oldest inhabited section. So
there's probably some cool arrowheads there.
Huh?
There's probably cool arrowheads there.
Well, I mean, colonist-wise, a lot of this area is also marsh, so our arrowheads would mostly be up on the hills.
Okay.
And in this area, anyway. So when the colonists came here, that's where the first residential area was. So when they were making the road wider because of the commuters, because I'm not that far from New York City, to widen it so that they could have two lanes coming off from the train station onto this little road, they tore out all that from in front of the homes. And yeah, there were a few people swinging on the tear out part. And I don't know if any of them followed the dump trucks to see what the dirt was dumped.
Yeah, that's a good angle to take.
Yeah, and those properties that were eminent domain and about 5 foot in to take that and widen the road. They probably didn't let anybody ever detect there either. So
yeah, a lot of people, they don't.
Right. I mean, the church that was built in the early 1700s, the building that stands there now is newer. But that church was one of the first. Christ Church was the first church founded in Middletown. And it's literally right there.
Yeah, I'd be hitting right in front of that. I'd be hitting that tear out right there.
All around there. Yeah, definitely. And there, I would be driving by and I'd see somebody swinging sideways up, because the yards are higher than the road. So when they cut it out, they cut a chunk out and there's just going sideways. But yeah.
And that's the way to find stuff is you've got any idea you have on how to find something is a good idea. It's when you run out of ideas that you're gonna get stumped, you're gonna get bored. But always try any idea you have on finding something's a good idea. Getting up on a weird hill, an uneven lie, going under trees and stuffing your coil under bushes and rocks that are overhanging. You got to try every idea you get is a good idea.
Oh, I swing wherever I can fit my coil, it goes.
Yep.
Great finds. But
yeah. Yep, the road cutouts. Yeah, there was an epic one out here that we got on, and I mean, I don't even know. Like, I know I found probably over 100 wheats and some tokens and all sorts of cool stuff.
Let's see. my town, they tore down some old mill houses to make room for a gas station. When they scraped the topsoil wheel, I followed the dump truck to where they dumped the dirt. Yeah, they
Yeah.
just tore down. One of my permissions was an 1825 house, and they just raised the house because they couldn't save it. And he put all the dirt he was pulling out in a big pile on the side, and I'm like, I got a sifter, so hopefully, as soon as my shoulder's feeling better, I'm going to sift all that dirt.
Yeah.
Because I was detecting around it, and I found a 1932 Canadian dime.
Nice.
So I'm like, I need to sift all that because it came right up from the side of the house. When he pulled all that dirt out, I found a largie. I don't remember what year it was, but this thing is beautiful. It's like 1830 or 1828, something like that. Yeah,
And there's a lot of there's non-metals that are cool stuff to find from sifting.
Yeah, that too. I think it was 1824 because the house was 1825, and I remember thinking it was around the house date.
And I always think it's probably one of it might have been someone that was building a house, taking a lunch break, and dropped their large cent. Or was it a Canadian? Drop their Canadian.
Well, the Canadian dime was 1934. The largie was 1820.
Oh, yes. So they dropped it. He on his lunch break. He was constructing.
The homeowner, her mother's from Canada. So I told her actually I was going to give her that dime because it most likely was her mother's dime. Mm-hmm. I said, because your mom's from Canada. Though, when I was growing up, we'd get Canadian coins all the time. Actually, here it is. This is the dime I found.
Oh, that's cool.
See it. Yeah, it was just right on the edge of the pile. And I would find Canadian pennies sometimes when I was detecting there. So.
And those the large ones?
No, these were later, about the same years as this dime. So I think they were her mother's.
They probably I think they went from large to small in like around 1920 in the 20s or 30.
Yeah.
30, somewhere around there.
Well, I did find a 1901 barber quarter there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. So that 1901 is a key.
I'm thinking of I found a 1901 $50 at the closed Catholic school. I mean, it was like, what year was that barber quarter? I have a picture of myself with it. Anyway, around 1900. I found a barber quarter around 1900.
Super cool.
Yeah, I don't think
they're beautiful coins.
They are. I like the barbers. I used to only find barber dimes. I wouldn't find Mercs or Rosies, only barbers.
Yeah, I found when I started detecting, I found a barber dime, a 1906 barber dime, and I hadn't even found a Mercury dime yet. So you just never know.
I wasn't even finding clad Rosies. The only silver dimes I was finding, only dimes I was finding for a long time were only barbers.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mercs and Rosies, and I'm like, yeah, I'd like to find one.
But kind of shows us, that the country, when those barber dimes were being minted, the country was doing well, and those coins were circulating. And when times get rough, people are pinching on their coins and losing less of them. So
yeah,
you can. It's neat to learn a little bit about our history from what you find.
Yep, and coins is one way to do it for sure.
Yeah, yep, and those dates, when you can see the date on a coin, you can pinpoint a time period most of the time to the area you were in, and it's really neat. It's really neat when you go to a spot is old, and you find something that is from the era that you think that you learned about. I call it proving history. It's just so cool to prove the history that you've learned.
I'd like to know where they found an extra fine 1913 barber quarter.
I found a 1899 or 98 in AU, and it was deep. It was like a foot. It was so deep, and I was in this rocky soil, and I lightly scratched it on the front.
Oh.
And it, it went from like the straight settlement coin, lost like $300 of the value, but incredible. The back of it's perfect. The front has light. It says AU details. That's what the coin grader put. But it was in the same hole as a barber dime as well. But Yeah, when you find a coin that's in fine, extra fine AU condition, it's super cool because they dropped it relatively close to the time that it was minted.
Oh yeah. I found a seeded dime like that. It looked like they dropped it
Fresh.
today. It came out of the roll.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, that's so cool. And the seeded dimes, the more detail that you see on them, they're just epic. And a lot of people don't know that the seeded dime, that's Lady Liberty sitting down and she's holding a rod and cap. And the reason that we do that goes back to ancient Rome. In ancient Rome, when a slave got their freedom, they were given a rod and a cap. And so that the people that knew they were slaves knew that they were now freed. But that's why, freedom is what that's representing. I'm a nerd like that.
Sorry. It's okay to be a nerd. Nothing wrong with being a nerd. Like I'm good at I'm really strongly interested in history, but to ask me a specific date, not gonna happen. I can tell you approximately when. I can tell you the event, to give you on July 3rd, 1804. I was never good at the dates.
Some of the gold coins I find, I'll look up like the historical events that happened that year. So I found a seated quarter, 1876 seated quarter. Does anybody know what was a big historical event in 1876 in the United States? Does anybody know? Can they answer in the chat? Let's see if somebody knows what happened in 1876 in the United States.
Let's see. Metal detecting.
Centennial. Keep guessing. We got Centennial, Depression, 100 years in our nation. Yeah, that's all. That's I know that's true. 1776. There we go. Got it. Marty got it. Custer's Last Stand. So Custer's Last Stand was in 1876. So it's fun. It's fun to when you find an old date.
Dan Graham's an LA Purchase, Louisiana. Got some good guesses.
Yep, those. Yeah, I know they could be right. But yeah, the one I saw that I thought was super interesting was Custer's Last Stand. It's crazy cool, and they detected that, and they found how the troops moved around in that battle by the where the shells of their bullets, how they got hit by the hammer.
Right. Yeah.
So all guns, it's like a fingerprint where it hits on the back of there is different. So they tracked each individual around the battlefield, and they basically, from what the shells they found on the ground, they got wiped out good. They didn't stand a chance against the Native Americans.
No, they didn't.
They're outnumbered, and then they were slightly malnourished.
And didn't, if I remember right, didn't the Native Americans have the advantage because they were on higher ground?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I know that when they went in there, they weren't expecting that many. They weren't expecting to go to giant thousands of Native Americans.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't expecting that, and they paid in the ultimate way.
I sure did.
Sweet, Grandma Kelly. I appreciate it. I'm excited to make a shovel for you. I like to come through.
There you go. Well, we'll probably end this pretty soon. Like you said, you have a herniated disc. I've got 4, so not sure how much more your back could tolerate.
Yeah, it's once I'm 39.
Wow.
So all starting to the wheels are starting to fall off. It's like it's harder to get out of bed in the morning. The aches and pains at the end of the day.
Well, that's why I tell people snap, crackle, and pop used to be my cereal. Now it's me in the morning.
Yeah. Yep. That's you get out of bed, my ankles like I'm cracking walking through the hallway. And,
yeah, well, if you could not turn 40, I would prevent it for as long as you can.
I quit liking my birthdays after age 29. Now I'm kind of like, no, but life's life.
Yeah, it is.
Different
Can't
angles. Yeah.
can't stop the aging.
Yep. And one other thing I was going to say about detecting is I have found when you go grid it north, south, east, west, diagonal, and then the opposite diagonal, I have found stuff on the fourth pass. It just, like a DD coil, how they go like a blade through the ground. It's just getting it in between all that garbage. I don't think people realize how much garbage is on the ground, metal garbage. There's a ton of it. But, on my fourth pass, my fifth pass, sometimes I'll start and then I'll go in a circle out from the center of a spot. And it's the last, I've gone over a bunch.
I roll around for a little bit.
Yep. And if I find something good, I stay there. I don't just march on away. If I find something in a spot, I will go in a circle away from it, just, about 10, 20 feet to see if anything else is there. And often there are other things there. So that's another tip. And then I'll continue on my grid after I pound it pretty good. And if you have a friend, I like to say the 20-foot rule. If somebody finds something good and they call you over or something, give them 20 feet and stay 20 feet from them. Let them find, it's their gold mine area. Let them have it. But once they're done there, go over that.
Oh, no, I bottom feed.
Yeah. You got to bottom. Once they're done in that spot, bottom feed
they leave that area.
Yep.
I will walk over there and just make sure they got it all.
And you find stuff. It's a great tactic to find stuff by doing that. I recommend it, but you don't want to offend people. So
no, I mean, like if you're in like you said, if you're in a group and you guys are all detecting together, you'll see it at events too. One person finds something really cool, 1,000 of them flock there.
Yeah.
So this is my advice for going to events and you find something really cool. Zip it until you're done hunting that area. Then I know you're excited. But only when you're done and you're pretty sure there's not much else around what you just found. Then say, hey guys.
Yep. I've learned that. It took time to learn that for me.
I just found a standing Liberty quarter. Everybody and their mother is going to be right there. They're going to admire what you found. That's why they're coming. But they're going to stay and dig around you.
Yep. So. I remember I was digging a spill up. I got like 5 Indian heads and a shield nickel in one hole. And I was videotaping. So the guy I was with at the time, he saw me videotaping. So he's like, oh, what's going on over here? And I'm like, yeah, I just found, I found a shield and some Indians and I'm still getting hits. And he literally was like 5 feet from me, detecting a circle around me. And, it's just like, that's why you got to not, try to keep it on the down low until you pound it all. But if you're a giving person, that's fine too. If you want me to come find stuff with you, call me over. I'll come in.
Sometimes I'm like, what are you doing? I'm not done, this. I want to check around my find,
Yeah.
Kenza, never celebrate a find an event or fake like you found several things, draw them over, and then take off to some other place.
Yeah.
Nicole said, we do it all the time. I dug a target 6 inches where Chad found a largie that day.
Yeah. See, that's what happens. But it's happened both ways for me. Like I've had a buddy on a spot, gone to the spot. He found something epic and found something cool too. But then I've had it happen where I'm on a spot, find something good. Then I go away from it and a buddy goes in there and finds something good and go, look what you missed. And it's like, trust me, I didn't miss it. I just didn't find it.
Exactly. I didn't swing over it, so I didn't miss it.
I didn't get the angle right or something, like if that's, you got to try every angle. It's amazing how you'll get a banger on the fourth angle you go over, the fourth direction. I found lots of good stuff that way.
I like Chad's way of doing it. I'll be swinging my shovel at everyone. Go away.
Mm-hmm. It's like the parks here in downtown. They're tough. You might have to do a little shovel swinging down there with all the homeless people asking you if you found their gold ring.
Like you had one.
It's like, man, do you not see the serrations on this, sir? And, you know, the other thing is I'm trying to listen to these headphones, you know, like I can't stop and chat. That's why I like the ghost towns. It's this peace and serenity.
Yeah. I like the woods because I don't see very many people.
You
Like
run
when I'm in
into
the field, I kind of feel like I'm exposed. I don't know how to explain it.
yeah,
Especially if I'm by myself. I feel like everybody's watching me, and
yes.
you know, I
They
like
think
the
you're picking up gold
woods.
everywhere.
Yeah.
You ever run into like a moose or anything like that out in the woods?
Not New Jersey.
No. I was
We don't have
going
them.
to,
But in
no.
Vermont they do.
Do they? I ran into one time and I came around a turn and it was sitting on the ground like a sphinx, yeah, like this moose, and it stood up. And I mean, I'm just like looking up. The thing is, it was giant. It was like 15, 20 feet from me. I ran like you wouldn't believe. And I know they say don't run from these animals, but it was just natural. I just booked it out of there. That thing was giant.
I know they're big because when I was in Vermont, I saw the moose tracks, and the baby moose tracks were like that.
Yeah, big footprints. Yeah, and I ran, and then
Have a great night, Dan.
Some 90-year-old lady came down the trail after I'd ran down it, and she walked right past the moose, and she's like, "Yeah, I saw it," and I'm like, "Oh," and she didn't even mind the moose that, you know, would stomp you. And so then I actually went back up, and he was up in the brush by then. So then I ended up getting past that spot. And I did find that day, I found an 1853 seeded half dime, overcoming my fear of moose. Yep. And it's in a XF condition, I think is what it got graded at.
I talk to myself too when I'm detecting.
Oh, totally. I'm always, it's natural. It's only natural
Especially when you're by yourself, you know. Like I wasn't going to first time going to my permission in Vermont. There was no way I was going by myself because I knew it was all wooded. It's new woods. They're less than 20 years old. Because when the woman who owns it, when she grew up there, you know, there were fields that they worked.
Yep.
And Dan was telling me also up until like 40, 50 years ago, most of Vermont was open land.
And, really?
Yeah.
Oh, there's probably
and so since her parents died like a little over 20 years ago, you know, nobody's been doing anything. So the trees have been allowed to grow. And so the forest is very young. And I was like, I don't know what kind of animals are up there. And like Monmouth County really doesn't have too much that's going to kill me. Occasionally there might be a bear around here, but that's about once every 10 years. So I'm like, and I got to remind myself when I go to other places that there's things in other states that want to eat me or kill me. You know,
there are real monsters, and they're bears and great white sharks. There are things out there that have no problem eating you. Or moose will stomp you. You know, and even the cougars up out here, there was a guy got chased by a cougar for like an eighth of a mile.
Oh, no, yeah, I know you guys got those nasty mountain lions and stuff like that.
And I don't think I've ever seen one in the wild, but I have friends that have sent me pictures. But yeah, I've seen the moose. I've seen rattlesnakes out here.
Yeah, still haven't seen a moose. I got all excited the first time I drove to Maine for a day. By the way, that's an 8-hour drive for me to just drive for one day of detecting.
Yeah.
I got all excited when I saw the big road sign saying "Watch out for moose" and moose crossing, and I'm like, "Oh, I get to see one," and I didn't.
And then ticks. We got ticks out here. You guys.
We got ticks. I get ticks year round. Doesn't matter. Deep freeze.
Really?
Matter. Yeah.
They're not seasonal.
Oh no, they're seasonal, but except for when I'm walking by, they wake up.
Oh, yeah, yep.
I've gotten them in January, February.
Yeah, and they say like out here it's snow melt to mid-July is what the tick season is. But you know, you get out in the sagebrush, you're going to get them on you. And you know, I soak my clothes in permethrin and put off on and deep, and they don't care,
No,
you know.
ours
And then
don't.
there's that new thing with them. There's a thing, illness that some ticks are spreading. It's the North Star tick. It is spreading where you are allergic. It makes you allergic
Yeah,
to
the
beef.
beef. Yeah, yeah.
Like how? I mean, that would be terrible. I like.
I
to
know it
have
would be terrible because I don't like chicken.
Yeah, I mean, I like a nice steak.
Yeah,
It's
I like a
delicious.
good burger.
Yep, and just to, just have an allergic reaction to that after
Yeah,
doing that.
I
Like,
don't,
no, that tick, he got
life
me.
life wouldn't be worth living anymore if I couldn't eat beef. I do like cows, so
uh,
pretty
and
sure
yeah, there's
horse and
lots
bear
of
don't taste
ranchers
the
out here.
same. Huh?
Yeah, there's lots of cattle and ranchers
Oh
out
yeah,
here,
yeah.
and the
I
ghost
like
towns. They'll have their cattle will go through those and stomp and make
it's
trails, and you
it's
can
not
find stuff.
limes. It's not limes. It's a new one. It's like spotted fever. Not spotted fever. It's something fever though, and it causes you to be allergic to beef.
Yeah, it's something weird, and it's gotten into Colorado. I think it came from like kind of towards the East Coast, but they know it's in
Yeah,
Colorado,
we have it here.
Wyoming, and Idaho. I don't think Utah has it yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was here. And like it's crazy because like mosquitoes are the number one killers of man or something like that. Mosquitoes kill more people or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if mosquitoes on me, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna swat it, but I'm not gonna worry. But if it ticks on you, you're just like, I think I'm gonna go sit in the truck for a minute, because you had all these tickles that you felt on the back of your neck, stuff during the day, and
Well,
now you're
somehow
thinking,
I must have gotten allergic to their histamines, their little spit, because I know when they bite me.
oh, ooh.
So at
I
least
don't
I
know
can
if
get,
I've had one attach.
yeah, I can at least get them off me because the little baby newt things, whatever, they'll jump on you here too and bite you.
Oh,
Best that they can anyway. Those little microscopic ones. Now I'm not talking
yeah.
about chickens. I just mean baby ticks.
Yep, the tiny ones.
Yeah,
Like the
but
first cycle. It's the first cycle they go through, and they're super
I
small.
usually, I'll feel them crawling sometimes, but if I don't feel them crawling, I will feel their bite. I'll suddenly
Oh,
itch in the
really?
spot. I'm like, oh, yep, I know I got a tick. So I'll get
Ooh.
it out within the first few seconds of them biting me. But it's still, ugh.
Have you seen the dental floss? Like I've seen people, they get a piece of dental floss and tie, just tie a knot, and then they pull it and it closes in, that loop closes in around the tick. And then they just spin the dental floss and pop the tick out.
I just take my really long fingernails and just go
Rip them out.
rip them out. They just put their head there, so they ain't even all snug yet.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they bite me,
I might have had one on me this year, and I think that it was like itching, and I just scratched him off.
yeah, they don't really burrow that deep, and you're not going to leave the head in you. And even if the head stuck in you for a bit, your body's going to push it out within a day or two anyway.
Yeah.
Your body doesn't like foreign objects. That's why, if you ever got a splinter that you couldn't get out and you waited a few days and that thing just was gone.
Yep.
Your body pushes it out.
Yep. Yeah. Even tacos and nachos. I need the beef with them.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would probably eat shrimp tacos maybe if I could, but I'm allergic to shrimp, so nothing happens except for it looks like I'm drunk when I eat shrimp though. That's my reaction. I get like if you have a glass or two of wine or a beer or whatever, you start getting all that
red.
and your lips are getting a little numb and your face is getting a little flushed and you suddenly are becoming chatty Cathy and you're talking about nothing. That's exactly what happens to me with shellfish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I can't I wouldn't drive home because I would be pulled over for a DUI when I didn't drink.
Yeah.
I would fail the sobriety test.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? And you probably still get a DUI even though you weren't drinking.
Exactly. I'm gonna be like, yeah, you're gonna have to take a blood test or something.
Don't eat anything from the water. I like all that. Seafood is delicious. I love the crabs, shrimp. Oh man, it just makes my mouth water. Just thinking about all the delicious
I live
secrets.
by the ocean and I don't really eat much of it. I like flounder, fluke,
Mm-hmm.
not
Like
tilapia.
tuna is delicious
Mahi
too.
mahi. Mahi
Tuna,
mahi
like
is
a tuna
awesome.
bag, a bag of tuna, out metal detecting for lunch.
Yeah.
It's delicious. Yeah, some freshwater fish. Yeah, like we got rainbows and browns out here, trout, and we got catfish.
Yeah, I like catfish. I like
Carp.
catfish. I like catfish po' boys.
Yeah, carp out here,
You can't
crawdads.
really cat. I'm not, I used to eat a lot of tilapia, but they're really, really over farmed now, so they aren't really that flavorful anymore. But I do like catfish until I lived on a catfish farm.
There's like a Utah lake here is loaded with carp and catfish, like, and they go out and they like electrocute the water to kill a bunch of them off. And when they float up, they gather them all and send them to a processing plant, and they become like dog food.
Wow. Well, I don't think you can eat carp. I think they're super bony or something.
Yeah, I think that's what. Yeah, they're bony and they're just. I know that they just don't. I've heard they don't taste good, but they're
Yeah, I remember catching a bunch
big.
of kid and real excited bringing home all these fish I caught, and they were like, "We can't do anything with these fish. You can't eat them." I was like, "Ah."
And then some of them have ammonia, like a lot of ammonia or
Yeah,
something like
they're just
that in
not.
them.
Yeah, they're not good eats. They're not good eats.
So
But
it's definitely a bummer.
trout's okay. I like trout. I like bass.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Manipulation.
I eat
People eat
frozen
it.
vegetables though.
Some people do eat carp, huh? Woo!
Well, I do know there are some people that will eat carp, but I won't.
It's like eating a squirrel. It's like, yeah, I wouldn't, but like if I had to survive, I have no problem eating a squirrel.
Oh, I did squirrel. I ate a raccoon, so
You ate a raccoon?
I ate some of a raccoon. Yeah, I ate a piece of a
Wow.
raccoon. Yeah,
Wow.
a friend of
I've
mine
had
was eating it, and
rare.
I asked her what it was. She said coon. I said raccoon. She goes, yeah. Her grandmother knew a trapper, and he would take the fur and give her grandmother the raccoon meat, and she would cook it up. And she was
Crazy.
like, "You want to try some?" I was like, "Well, you only live once." Tasted like duck, and I don't like duck, so I didn't like the raccoon. But if it was the apocalypse and the only thing around to eat was Rocky Raccoon, well, it's gonna be Choppy Raccoon pretty soon because I'm gonna be eating them. Yeah, I would eat just about anything. Except there are things I definitely won't. I won't eat beets. I'll just die. I don't like them. I don't think I'd want to eat them even if I was starving. Squirrel tastes like chicken, Lucky Duck said.
Oh,
really?
really?
I know people that have eaten it, and if you get the gaminess out of them, they're not bad eats, supposedly.
I was detecting a couple days ago and been towed out, and it was like 36 degrees, and I was standing still in the same spot for a long time, and I think a squirrel was going to jump on me. He ran like right up to me. He was like 2 feet away from me, and I turned and saw him, and there's a telephone pole, and he's going to go up the telephone pole I was next to, and I screamed. I screamed very loud, and then he ran, but it was embarrassing to scream like that in public.
I bet. I usually talk to them. I see them all the time when I'm delivering mail. Some of them, they come over and they listen. They'll be, within 6 inches of me.
Really?
Yeah, and I'll be like, they'll be wandering around while I'm walking, and I'll just cluck at them,
Yeah.
They like that noise. They'll stop to look, and they look at you sideways because a squirrel won't look at you head on because they can't see here.
Oh, really?
So when you see a squirrel and it's looking at side-eyeing you, it's looking at you.
Yeah.
Because the way their eyes are spread, they cannot see directly in front of them, so they kind of look at you sideways. And they'll look at me and they'll come closer sometimes. If people are feeding them nuts and stuff outside, they'll come really close.
Yeah.
I'll talk to them. I'll be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And they'll sit there listening, until I'm bored, and then I'll make a loud noise and they run.
Mhm. I've had them where I'm golfing and you go to the tee box and leave your golf cart, and they go into the golf cart and take all your food.
Yeah, they're little thieves too. Yeah.
Even sealed. They took my sealed peanut bar. It wasn't even open.
It
It's
smelled good.
airtight. He just knew. He knew there'd be
Yeah.
delicious treat in there. Yeah, there's these big orange squirrels here.
It's I don't know. I mean, they taste what they taste like, but if you, I'm not saying to get rid of the gamey taste so it tastes like chicken or beef or whatever. It's just there's a unpleasantness underneath it that if you don't, you know, because we're not used to eating that meat that way.
Exactly. It's like a mental thing.
Well, no, the taste is there. It's just because, you know, up until, they started processing meat for us, families go to the fresh butcher and take the cow meat and whatever, and they killed, they provided their own meat, and the hunters would bring home whatever. But if you look, like these recipes go back 200 years, that would take the gaminess, the rough taste out of it, so it was more palatable to
Uh-huh.
eat. And then we need it even more so because we're all used to going to the supermarket and buying our beef that way, and there's no gaminess in it.
Yep. Yeah, all this meat talk. I'm gonna have a nice steak after this. Deer jerky. I like deer and elk jerky.
We ate the
Backstrap.
fish.
It's delicious. Yeah. Like any pretty much any jerky. I like it all.
Yeah, I do.
I've had octopus before. My friend tricked me into eating it.
Nice, Marty. Well, I guess we can wrap this up so you can go eat your dinner. I could take Sleepy Boy outside because I don't need him like pee in the bed or anything, or waking me up at 2 a.m. because he's got to pee. Baby octopus now, no thanks.
Right on. Well, I appreciate you having me on and letting me
Well, I
come.
appreciate you coming on. It's been fun. I didn't even I know about an hour ago I said, we'll probably end this pretty soon, but it's such fun talking to you, and everybody else is having a good time.
Yeah, and I mean I can talk treasure for days because everybody that knows me, that's around me, they're a little tired of hearing about it.
I'll definitely have you up again another time, if you're up for it. And
yeah, I'd love to.
Grandma Kelly got a shovel off you tonight, so that's good. And,
oh, I see that on my phone. Yes, excellent, Grandma Kelly.
Gene Dick's sister's gonna go eat now too. So yeah, I appreciate you coming up and hanging out tonight. Mark probably messaged me at some point to tell me his internet went down.
Well, tell him we missed him.
Huh?
We missed him.
Well, we did. He's fun. And I'll talk to you soon. Have a great Christmas.
Yep. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everybody.
And
hopefully you got an Excalibur under your tree.
And remember, Christmas Day starts Christmas, doesn't end it. So when you all get your little detecting packages for Christmas and you need a shovel, you know where to go.
Hit me up.
Yeah. And I appreciate it. I'm sure you will. You make a good product anyway. And it's not like it's super expensive and out of anybody's reach.
Right. That's correct. People ask me and then I'm like, what detector do you use? A Deus 2, Manticore, Legend. $1,000. And you don't want to spend $100?
Yeah.
It's a 10%er. You'll find something and you'll pay it off with one find.
Oh yeah. Like I said, I've had mine for years, but I I don't know. I'm not sure. I got to look at your shovels to figure out. I don't know. I think I kind of want the same length, but a longer blade, obviously. So I got to think about it.
Yeah, that wide, the WL or the wide is 9 inches long.
Yeah.
So measure yours.
That would be good for the woods and stuff like that because I do the woods a lot. Like the groundhog is really good for yards.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I'm usually not going more than 6-8 inches anyway, and the first cut's going to give me about 3 or 4.
Yeah, you just need to get through the sod, and once you get through that, you can just hand digger.
Exactly. But when I'm in the woods and there's roots and there's undergrowth under there and rocks and everything else, you know, having a snub-nosed shovel is not the greatest sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
But,
there's always the way to get in under those roots. I've never been stumped, but if you got a signal that's banging under there, get it because it's a good chance it's something good.
Yeah. Well, last time it was a piece of copper, but not a copper coin. But I still do them.
But you recycle it.
And it was curved under that root too. But Merry Christmas to everybody in the chat. Thank you all for hanging in there tonight and joining us. Congratulations to the winners. I'll be ordering the stuff off of Amazon probably tomorrow morning and having them shipped out to the 2 winners. And I'll be mailing this off in the next day or two, so you'll get it during Christmas, but not by Christmas Day. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. And what did Gene say? I need it wider than 7 and longer than 8, but less than 11, like a 9x10.
I could do something like that. If you specifically ask me, I can do something.
You heard it. You heard Casey say it.
Mm-hmm.
Check out Casey on YouTube, the Key Date Kid. Ohio Metal Maven did share the website. It's pinned at the top. If you watch the replay, the comment would be pinned up there. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. Make sure you tune in Friday night, 8 p.m. EST for the premiere of my video. It's not your typical digging video. It's metal detecting related, but there's no digging in it. So I will see you guys next week. Thank you again, Casey. You can hang out here for a second when I end this. So peace, everybody. Any last words you want to say? Just peace.
I appreciate you guys having me. And like I said, hopefully there's an Excalibur shovel under your tree.
That's, definitely. Get one. Peace.